Before we start this video, you should know that everything has a process. Hello to all the creatives out there. My name is Romil and today we will talk about whether you should or should not go to a film school if you want to be a filmmaker. It is very important to identify that is filmmaking your hobby or your passion. And it is said that when passion meets hobby, the stage is set on fire. If your motive is to find a job in the industry by joining a film school, then you should definitely drop the idea of it. But if you are planning to educate yourself to learn the technicalities in filmmaking language, then you should definitely think of it. Let's talk about some of the pros and cons of going to a filmmaking school, and I can assure that by the end of this video, you can get some clarity whether you should or should not go to a film school. Point number 1. Early access to making independent films as whole. When I was in a film school, we were given individual projects to make films. In this case, I would collaborate with a team of cinematographers, editors, actors, and I would eventually learn the art of making films by actually working on it. This film was then reviewed by the teachers and it would help me to know where I went wrong. Whereas, if I'm working on sets, I have to start with assisting someone, which won't give me access to making films as a whole. The next point is networking. In film schools, you are surrounded by people with similar interest. This helps you to network with people from your field that are actors, editors, cinematographers, directors, sound designers, and much more. You never know, they can actually turn into people you will be making films with in the future. Or you can get recommended by them and land up getting a job of your interest. Few years back, I got a job in IPL ad by the recommendation of a colleague. Next point is access to all the equipments. You have to accept the fact that filmmaking is expensive. Many of you will say that I don't need any gears, a camera and a gimbal is fine for me. But trust me, filmmaking is much more than that. A filmmaking school can give you access to all the gears that are used in a real film set. You can get access to all the sound equipments, lights, all those expensive film lenses, cranes, Steadicam and whatnot that you can also use in your own projects without actually buying it, and all at the cost of your own fees. You can also learn to operate film cameras like Arri Alexa, Red cameras, Blackmagic, Cine Alta, which are used in the mainstream movies. The next point is learning different roles. Say you went to a film school to be a director, but you started taking interest on cinematography and you never know, you can drop the idea of being a director and you can actually become a cinematographer. It helps you to discover different roles in filmmaking, and having knowledge about each department will not only help you to gain knowledge but will also help in implementing that in your projects. So basically, more knowledge will lead to more clarity. Next is theoretical knowledge. Many of us believe that filmmaking is all about visual storytelling. I agree on the point, but filmmaking is also about breaking the rules, and it is said that you should know the rules first if you want to break them. There are many theories in filmmaking, say theories about color, lighting, blocking, angles, mise-en-scene, and much more. Film school help us to get deep insights on this. Now, let's talk about some of the cons of filmmaking school. First on the list is, it's expensive. Yes, you heard it right. Film schools are really expensive. Not only the fees, but you also need to be heavy on your pockets if you're making your own project film. The next point is fixed setup. Film school does give you access to all the equipments, but what about the equipments that you don't actually want to learn? Say you want to learn how to use a Red camera, but your film school does not have a Red camera. They are teaching how to use Arri Alexa. Next on the list is bound to study particular subjects. Like in school, we were bound to study specific subjects, even subjects that we did not like. Similarly, in film school, we are bound to study all the subjects, all the roles, and also the things that you don't want to learn. Whereas, if you're learning by your own, you have the freedom to educate yourself on a specific topic. Next point is no job guarantee. Yes, as I said earlier, if you're looking for a job after your film school, then this is definitely the wrong idea. Film school definitely provides you a degree, but that degree contains no value. Because at the end, people will recognize you by your work. So, having a degree is not at all important if you want to be a filmmaker. So, that was some of the pros and cons of going to a film school. I went to a film school and it definitely worked for me. Maybe it doesn't work for you. And as I said earlier, everything has a process, and it's important that you learn the process. How you want to learn the process is totally your call. So that's it, guys. I hope this video helped you to get some clarity. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, do hit the like button, do subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned, stay creative.